Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, a bright new future for the Boulder King Soopers as the redesigned store gets ready to open its doors.
It's just the basis of who Boulder is, and together we're better, together we will rebuild, and together we'll be there for each other.
Now the store's neighbors on Table Mesa Drive are ready to help nearly a year after 10 people died in a mass shooting.
Denver's City Council is putting more money towards safe outdoor spaces, but some people are pushing back over how close these sanctioned homeless camps are to homes.
And Von Miller is ready to play for a second Super Bowl ring, this time with the Rams. How he's mentally preparing for the big game on Sunday. Probably sticking with what worked the last time with the Broncos. The media has really started swarming into LA ahead of the game. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. We'll be sticking with those warmer temperatures today. Lisa is here, and Lisa, you are still tracking a little snow in the mountains tomorrow.
Just a little, yeah, you're right. And we may see a few of those light snow showers roll east. I'll show you that coming up here in just a minute. But as we get you out the door on this Tuesday morning, look at how mild it is. 42 in Erie, 36 in Denver, 41 in Lakewood, and 39 in Golden. So well above normal this morning. In fact, we're typically right around 44, 45 for a high, and that's what we're seeing in some neighborhoods this morning. So a nice start to our day. It's going to be a beautiful wake-up forecast. We'll see more low to mid 30s here. It'll get a touch cooler right around sunrise, and then upper 40s near 50 for a high this afternoon. So we're in for some really pretty, very mild weather today. Again, Denver right around 50. Winds picking up just a touch out of the west with that, so it's going to be a little bit breezier, especially up and through the mountains, where we may see some of the snow that's on the ground blowing around a bit, and there will be a chance for some light snow tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at that coming up on the Super 7 Day. Jason?
And right now we have a good drive going on anywhere you want to travel, including on up into Greeley, as you can see from the UNC campus, even along 11th. We're not seeing any significant snow or ice that's going to slow you down by any means. Obviously, in the parking lots, you're going to see some piles in some of those shaded areas, not only here, but Fort Collins and around Denver. You're going to find some of those shaded areas that are still a little bit of ice and snow. But overall, the drive, as you can see here across Metro Denver, looks just fine. No problems for us here to the north side of town. Take a look at I-25 at 84th Avenue. Smooth all the way into downtown Denver, moving at top speed, very light traffic. And you can see that just about anywhere you want to go, whether it's going to be across 270, 6th Avenue out to the west side of town, Highway 36, or that drive to or from the airport. So it's a really good start here to the morning commute and not seeing any problems just yet.
Nearly a year since one of the worst things imaginable struck, the King Soopers off Table Mesa in Boulder is set to reopen.
Yeah, certainly been a tough year there. The store has been closed since a mass shooting killed 10 people last March. But today we'll get our first look inside the renovated store. Tomorrow the store plans to hold a reopening ceremony honoring the victims. We're going in depth this morning with an update on the case. Also a look at how it changed our state and how the neighborhood is eager to get its community gathering space back.
We'll start there with Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. She's live outside the new store on Table Mesa Drive. Veronica.
And on the outside, the Table Mesa King Soopers in Boulder, it looks completely different than it did nearly a year ago, but it still does mean so much to the people who live in this community. If you remember, we heard from so many last year about how this was such a big gathering spot for kids to come after school, pick up a quick candy bar, for parents to greet each other when they were running those errands. And again, so many thrilled to see this grocery store reopen, including those who work right across the street at a neighborhood library.
They're excited and looking forward to King Soopers opening, because that was another place where the members of the community would go and see each other and say hello and greet each other. So I can't begin to explain how thrilled they are that we're healing, and we're healing together, and the library is here to support them with that.
That's Shannon Kincaid, who you just heard from. She's the branch library manager here at George Reynolds. The library itself, it was closed when 10 people were killed at King Soopers. That was, again, nearly a year ago. It reopened late last year, and since then, she's been able to watch the rebuilding process day by day, getting that front row seat to community members walking by, watching, waiting for their neighborhood grocery store to be open again.
It's just, I guess, a testament to the community of how things get shattered and they slowly rebuild and come together again.
And neighbors who've been waiting for those doors to reopen, they get that day tomorrow. They'll get to walk back into the neighborhood grocery store after a ceremony for it first. We're live in Boulder this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta.
Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. We want to take a moment to pause and remember the 10 people killed in last year's shooting. Denny Stong, Nevin Stanisic, Ricky Olds, Trelana Barkowiak, Suzanne Fountain, Terry Leiker, Officer Eric Talley, Kevin Mahoney, Lynn Murray, and Jody Waters. We have preserved the stories from their family and friends on our website, thedenverchannel.com, and our Denver 7 Plus app. You can read those stories anytime. The man accused of taking their lives is currently in a state hospital in Pueblo awaiting treatment. He was found mentally incompetent to stand trial twice. Neither prosecutors nor defense attorneys have said what his mental illness is. The suspect has another hearing on March 15th to review his treatment.
Well, since last March, Colorado lawmakers have been working on new measures hoping to stop a tragedy like the King Soopers shooting from happening again. Governor Polis signed 3 new gun laws in response to the shooting. One prevents people convicted of certain violent misdemeanors from being able to buy a gun. Another created a special agency under the state health department to make policy recommendations to reduce shootings. And the third allows local governments to pass stricter gun laws than the state. Boulder City Council is allotting 30 minutes to talk about gun violence prevention legislation in its meeting tonight. There will be no supporting documents, but leaders have said they want to bring back the city's ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines that was blocked by a judge just days before the King Soopers shooting. An Arapahoe County Sheriff's deputy is expected to be okay after they were hit by a car. This happened yesterday near East Crest Hill Avenue and South St. Paul Way in Centennial. Deputies were arriving to a call of an unwanted person at a home, but when they arrived, the suspect allegedly ran down the deputy. Other deputies then chased the driver, who crashed into a tree and was arrested.
The city of Denver is showing support for a program aimed at helping people get off the streets and eventually into housing. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live. And Christian, the city has approved millions of dollars in funding.
That's right. The city is showing faith in the Safe Outdoor Spaces program by giving them almost $4 million in additional funding. This program puts homeless Coloradans in tents in fenced-in areas with portable bathrooms, Wi-Fi, and power, with the ultimate goal being finding them more stable housing. Now, it is run by Colorado Village Collaborative, and it started back in December of 2020. Last year, the program helped a total of 47 people get into more stable housing. We spoke with some people who live in the Lincoln Park neighborhood, though, which is near one of the sites, and one person told us they're not opposed to the program, but they do have some concerns about where the sites are located.
To put 50 homeless people on one lot, I think there needs to be some sort of site-specific analysis that goes into determining where these sites are hosted.
There's some days I don't even come out of the house. I just feel like I'm trapped in there. Unless somebody comes out, then I'll come out.
The city is moving forward with the funding, but some residents in the Lincoln Park neighborhood actually have filed an appeal to get that site removed. But the additional money going into the program will help them operate a total of 4 sites and accommodate around 370 people who would otherwise be sleeping on the streets, sidewalks, or in cars. Reporting live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. Aurora's City Council, meanwhile, will vote next week on a proposed camping ban. Mayor Mike Kaufman reintroduced the legislation last night. He tried to introduce a camping ban last summer. It failed twice in City Council, but that was before a new, more conservative-leaning council was elected in the fall.
Colorado Senator Michael Bennet is calling for unanimous consent to make Camp Amachi in southeast Colorado an historic site. He and fellow Senator John Hickenlooper introduced the Amachi Historic Site Act last April to make the former World War II Japanese internment camp part of the national park system. Similar legislation passed the House back in July. Denver 7 went to the former site last year and spoke to people who survived the camp. You can see our special now on the free Denver 7 Plus app.
Those quizzes on social media aren't necessarily harmless fun. How the games could be used to steal your personal information. Plus,
we always have a kick line, and that's one of their favorites.
yeah, move over, Radio City Rockettes. This local senior cheer squad is wowing crowds and showing they've still got it.